Hey folks, welcome. My name is Emily and this is Gently Chaotic Knits, which is generally a video podcast series where I chat about what I've been knitting and some other crafting and whatever else I've been up to. Today is just a normal project update video. I sometimes do different kinds of videos, but mostly, for the most part, what you can expect is I'll just go through what I've been working on and share about it with you all. Norman... My dog Norman is doing circles behind the camera here, so you may be able to hear him doing some play and some huffing. But anyway, I don't have like the most progress to share today from the last time I recorded. I honestly cannot tell you how long it's been. I don't remember how long it's been, but I knew I wasn't gonna have time to record anytime soon, so I wanted to sit down, and the primary reason, even though I don't have a ton of different projects to work on, I've made quite a lot of progress on one project, and if I don't record now, I kind of think I'm going to finish it before I get to record next, and I wanted to show you all at least one in progress little intermediate step. So thought I would at least, even if it's a shorter one, or I don't know, maybe that's famous last words, maybe this will be super long, but even if it's a little bit shorter, I still have a couple of things to share and I wanted to share them with you all. So yeah, we can go ahead and jump into it. Before I talk about all the stuff I'm working on and all that, I should also tell you what I'm wearing. Underneath my beloved corduroy shacket is the Moonset Tee by Ozetta. I knit this a few years ago. I believe the yarn is Ovis Etc. Ignay, which is a fingering weight. It's a mostly wool, but also has, I think, both silk and ramie, which is like a plant fiber, kind of similar to linen is my understanding. So it has like this really cool sheen to it as well, and it's also really great and breathable for like a summer yarn. Anyway, I knit this a few years ago. The colorway that I knit the top out of, I think is, maybe just called Coral. It is this like peachy pink, and you may look at this and be like, Emily, that's not peachy pink. What happened? So if you were around at that time, you may remember I had this like huge dilemma with this project. I really loved the tee and I put a lot of work and time and effort into it, but and I love the color too, but I just didn't love the color that much on me, like on my body and like with my complexion and stuff. And I still kind of feel like that with peachy colors. I love that kind of peachy pink, but maybe it's just too close to my skin tone. So anyway, I overdyed this tee quite successfully, I think, with a lot of help and guidance from my friend Coley, who is Paisley Knits. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So a very nice, more wearable for me red color. Y'all probably know that I love red, so I love the new color, and I think I wear it way more now that I overdyed it. So anyway, it's short sleeves. I can show you what it looks like. Sorry, I'll scoot out of it. Yeah, so short sleeve, fingering weight tee, just like, I don't know, nice and easy to toss on. So that's what I am wearing today. All right, let's get into not works in progress. I actually do have one finished object, but let's get into the knits and what I've been working on. So first up, I do have, like I mentioned, I have one finished object. Oh, and I'll, just for grounding for where we are in the calendar, today is April 17th. So here are my finished March socks. So I think I shared these were maybe in progress last time. Roman is trying to get himself covered by a blanket. You can do it. He's just looking at me. Hopefully he can handle this himself. Anyway, these I think were in progress last time, but these are my March socks. So very quickly, I am doing a pretty casual year of socks. Basically, I have a ton of sock yarn. I wanted to make an effort to work through some of that sock yarn, so I pulled out 12 skeins of sock yarn at the beginning of the year and was like, I'm gonna knit a pair of socks each month. And so I decided ahead of time like what yarn I was gonna use each month. So This was my March pair. I knit the Almost Argyle socks, which is a pattern by me actually. And it is basically just all these little one stitch cables that make these like diamond patterns that kind of, I don't know, like click together almost like a puzzle. These socks are for my husband Nofis. He actually picked, I asked him what kind of socks he wanted, and he said he wanted this pattern, so that was very sweet of him. The pattern has two sizes, a small and a large size. The small size is a 60 stitch sock and the large is a 72, and this is the large size. This is a 72 stitch sock. I knit it on a US size 0 needle. My sock knitting gauge tends to be a little loose, so I always knit on US size 0s, but I think with this one, actually, you can see the fabric. I think this is some of the best sock fabric I've ever gotten. Like, the stitches don't seem too loose, the fabric doesn't seem too loose, so I'm quite pleased with how these turned out. The yarn is Grenouille in their standard sock base. I think it's in like a fingering weight, 85% merino, 15% nylon superwash. It is in the colorway Lampblack, which is a favorite of mine, also a favorite of my husband's, so that was an easy choice for him. And yeah, I am very pleased with how these turned out. I finished these only a few days ago, like maybe 3 or so days ago, so squarely like halfway into April, so I am not on track with my monthly socks. Part of that is I think these took a while because boy socks, man, I feel like they just take so long. And like, so I don't know, my standard sock for myself, I've been doing 64 stitches, so 72 stitches is like quite a lot more stitches. And then also the length. Oh my gosh, the length. Like, his feet are just so much longer than mine. So I just felt like I kept thinking I must be done, and I would try it on his foot, and there was more to do. I just kept having to go longer. So it felt like it took a long time. I also got distracted and was really motivated to work on another project that I'll show y'all in a minute. So I think that took away some of my knitting time and energy, but I did finish them. Unfortunately, I do have another pair of boy socks, I guess now in progress, but for April. And I don't know, I was considering maybe swapping them out and like swapping up my months a little bit, but I don't know, I love to stick to a plan, so I decided to stick to the plan. So I am doing back-to-back boy socks, but the good news is once I get through this, that's it for the boy socks for this year. No more boy socks, so I will be completely done. But anyway, I'm very pleased with how these turned out. I have not woven in the ends and blocked them yet. My husband's birthday is early May, so I will make sure that the ends are woven in and they are blocked and ready to go to give them to him then. He wants them early, which I kind of get because it's starting to get warmer, so probably wear them more now than he could then, but we're about to go on vacation, and like I don't think he's going to take them and wear them on vacation, so I think it's fine. Like, you know, I'll just have them ready when we get back. But anyway, that is my only finished object for this time. Everything else still in flight. So that is that. For works in progress, maybe I should just go ahead and we'll stay on the sock theme, and I will show you my April socks. So like I mentioned, these are also boy socks. I am knitting a pair of socks for my brother. He is a very dedicated wearer of hand knit socks, and so I like to do a pair of hand knit socks for him for his birthday, which is in mid-May. So I am not anticipating finishing these by the end of April, even though they're my April socks. I'm hoping to just finish them by his birthday, which is in the middle of May. And then I have decided for my May socks, I am gonna do shorties so that I can hopefully catch back up and get back on track. But anyway, I just have barely started these. I just have like a little tote. I think I started these yesterday, so very little amount of progress. But I am knitting the DRK Everyday Socks, which is patterned by Andrea Mowry. I have knit these socks lots of times, and I find that they are particularly good for gifts, especially if you don't have access to the foot that you need access to when you are knitting them. The 2x2 ribbing is just really forgiving, and so I've made these exact socks for my brother before. I know that this pattern in this size fits him pretty well. What I should do is I should count the rows that I knit when I knit them this time, so that I can remember if I knit them again exactly how many rows I need to do. I guess my gauge could be slightly different based on the yarn or whatever, but anyway, just thinking out loud here. I should probably just go ahead and like measure them or count the rows and jot down notes for myself for the future. That would probably be helpful. But anyway, the yarn I'm using is Explorer Knits and Fibers Denali sock in the colorway North Cascades National Park. Last year, I think it was, I knit a pair of socks for my brother, and I basically just like pulled out some sock yarns that I thought he might like. I think I pulled out like 4 or 5, and I think he liked them all, but he picked out the ones he wanted the most, and it was tough, I think, for him to decide between a couple of them. And so I knit one of them for him last year, and then I think this one was his second choice, and so I remembered that, and I said I'll just knit those for you next year. So it is next year now, and I am knitting him his second choice. This one's also, I think, appropriate because my brother is a big national parks guy, as am I, and he's never been to North Cascades National Park, but I think is planning to, or hopefully gonna come this summer to North Cascades National Park and do some hiking with me, and like our family may go and do some hiking and visit the national park. So it'd be nice if I made him the North Cascades National Park socks, and he probably wouldn't wear them in the park, but I don't know. Then he will have visited the park and have the socks to match, so that's kind of nice. I believe for this one I'm knitting the men's size medium. It's a 68 stitch size, which I think is right. He has pretty skinny feet. I do as well. I think his feet are like maybe a touch wider than mine, and like I said, I normally do 64 stitch socks for myself, but also with the ribbing, I think it's okay. Like I could maybe do a little bit smaller, but I think 68 will work well. So yeah, 68 stitches. I think I'm almost done with the toe increases. I may actually be, I guess I could count. I don't know, that's probably not entertaining to count live on the video too. 4, 6, 8. Okay, yeah. I finished the increases for the toe. I think I do like 4 rows or something before I start the ribbing, but anyway, toe is pretty much done. Is there anything else I should share? Oh yeah, like I mentioned, these are my April socks. They're for my brother, 68 stitches, US size 0 needle. I have completely been converted to doing my socks magic loop. I used to be a small circular person, and like a shorties. Is that what they are called? Whatever, circs. The little ones, like the 9-inch circulars. I used to do those all the time, and then I don't know what it was. Like I didn't have them for some reason. I had to do magic loop for something, and I was like, wow, actually, I think this is way better. I was kind of anti-magic loop for a while, but I'm team magic loop now. So anyway, I need to make good progress, but I think I'm going to take these with me on our vacation that I mentioned we're about to go on. So hopefully I will make a good chunk of progress on that vacation. All right, 2 other works in progress. I wonder if you can guess what my like big exciting one is that I've been working on a lot. But first, maybe I'll do an update on a project that I shared about last time, a new project that I shared about. So I started a blanket. I have been knitting the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. I don't actually know where I am at in this. Oh, perfect. I'm at a clean square break. I haven't worked on this in a while, but for a minute there, I was really cruising. I really have been enjoying it. So anyway, yeah, this is a blanket pattern by Laura Penrose that is made up of these cute little modular squares, and each square is 2 triangles. How cute is this? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I am using just scraps, leftover yarns that I had from previous projects, and I am doing a little bit of color management. I'm not doing it like completely randomly. I'm not using all my scraps. I'm doing only solids, and I'm like purposefully not picking colors that I think don't go with this like vibe or palette that I have in mind. The vibe or palette that I have in mind is basically just the colors that I like, which is essentially primary colors plus like some neutrals. So you will notice that it is all red, yellow, and blue, and then I've got like this kind of Odie color, and I've got gray, and that's pretty much it. A couple of like kind of modifications, I guess you could say, on the pattern. The pattern originally calls for 1 main color, and then you can do like a whole bunch of different contrast colors. I think the idea is like to use your scraps for the contrast color and then have like 1 main color that is like a through line throughout. I felt like I had enough scraps, and I felt like they went together enough, and I wanted it to be a little bit more colorful, so I decided not to do a main color that is a part of every single square, and decided to just use all scraps for all the colors, like all the yarn. The other change that I made is that the pattern has all of these diagonal lines, like all the triangles going the same direction, and I thought it might be a little bit more fun and chaotic to do some of them the other way. So you can see like this gray and blue one here is the first one that I did the diagonal the other direction, and then I also did this one that way as well. So I don't have a plan for like how big it's gonna be. I don't have a plan for how I'm gonna construct it. I have just been kind of going in this strip. I'm kind of wondering if I should just go in this strip until it's as wide as I want. Maybe like 2 or 3 more squares wide. 3 maybe? That would be what, 8? Yeah, it's 5 right now. Yeah, so I could go 8 wide, and then I'll just go maybe back and forth as many rows as I want until it's long enough. I don't know. Again, this is gonna be a project that I'm working on for a really long time, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I think last time I showed you, I think I had done these first 2 squares, which I love both of them. So since then, I've done these 3. I may have started this one, I'm not sure, but anyway, this yarn I think is La Bien-Aimée Corey Worsted. It's a gray. I don't remember which gray it is. I think it's not French gray. It's the other light gray, but I don't remember. I think I got this from a friend like that had some leftovers. The blue is Stephen and Penelope Tandem. I don't remember the colorway. Enchanted, maybe? I don't remember exactly. This pink is Woolberry Fiber Co. It's a fingering weight yarn that I held double. I think it's Peachy Keen. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's Peachy Keen. This is Pearl Soho Linen Quill, which is also a fingering weight that I held double. And I believe this is the colorway Chestnut, I think. This one, both of these are Woolberry Fiber Co. and they're both fingering weight. I used them in my original Slanty Stripes sample, and I don't remember the colorway names. I think the yellow might be Marigold, and I kind of think the blue is Puget Sound, but I could be completely wrong about that, but those are my best guesses. So yeah, that's how it's going so far. I have some yarns pulled for my next squares. I just did this one and this one, so I can put these away for now. My next one is gonna be these 2, I think. This is Woolberry Fiber Co. Berry Natural DK. I think this is Cool Breeze, and then this is Grenouille Lampblack in the fingering weight linen single space, and so I'll hold this one double as well. So I'm gonna do this one next, I think, and then I have like a whole bunch more pulled out in this little bag. I'm not gonna go through all of them. I'm undecided on this one. This one is like a little bit more like purpley mauvey. I'm not sure if that really fits the vibe, but I have some more like, did I already use this one? Maybe. This one is fun. That one will be really good. I've got, this is leftover. This is Harrisville Daylights that I have left over. That'll be fun. I've got some Corey worsted I used for my dad's sweater. I've got more yellow. Yeah, so I've got this. I don't even know what this is from. Like a pinky, sandy pink. Anyway, oh, sandy. I think this might be Barceloneta from Explore Knits and Fibers, because it does look sandy. Anyway, that is where I am at on this project. I'm quite pleased. I'm having a fun time. I am trying to work on it the perfect amount that both is like enjoyable to me and also doesn't feel like too much pressure. And so it's been kind of streaky. It's been like, I'm loving this and I want to keep making squares, and so I'll do that for a while, and then sometimes I won't even think about it and I will just leave it. So anyway, as far as like deciding which direction to make the triangle go, I am just going on vibes. And we'll see how far the vibes take me. What I should be doing is weaving in ends as I go. Am I doing that? No. It's going to be horrors at the end of the project when I have to go in and weave in all the ends. That will be bad. But, you know, problem for a later time. All right. One more whip I'm going to show you, which is my sweater I've been working on. I do have, I guess, my crosshatch wrap. I put like maybe 2 rows in since I last shared it. I just don't know why. I kind of put it in a bag and it was tucked underneath my table and I just kind of forgot about it. So I haven't worked on that a ton. So I figured it wasn't worth an update on that, but I'm hoping to get back to it, although I'm not traveling with that. So it will have to be a little bit later that I come back to it. Okay, this is the most exciting one. This is what I'm so excited to share with y'all. I shared last time that I finished my sweater spin for the Traveler Hoodie by Andrea Mowry. And so shortly after I last recorded, I cast on and I've been working on it and I'm so obsessed with it. I can't even tell you. Okay, let me just show it to you. I just have to show it to you. Okay, here we are. Here it is. It's so good. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Can you believe? Not only did I make this, like not only did I knit this, but I also spun the yarn myself. Unbelievable. I'm absolutely smitten. I'm so obsessed with it. Okay, I'm just staring at it and I'm just obsessed and I can't stop. I love it so much. Oh my God. Okay, this is the Traveler Hoodie by Andrea Mowry. And again, I am knitting this out of my Handspun. The Handspun is a traditional 2-ply. It is, here's a nice yarn cake for you to take a look at. I'll show you this side too. 1 ply of this yarn is just a gray BFL, and the other is a Hello Yarn patchwork kit that I broke up into tiny pieces and just kind of spun randomly. And like, if you just look at this, I think the colors are such a vibe, and that just goes to show that Adrian from Hello Yarn does such an incredible job with the palettes for these patchwork kits, because I did not leave anything out. I did not do any like mix or color curation or whatever. Like, this is just the patchwork kit and it looks amazing. So it's very, I would say, cool toned and like blue forward, which I love and is very me, I think. The colors I think are so perfect for like hoodie sweatshirt, because if you think about like a classic sweatshirt, it's gray, which this is, but it's also like really fun and rainbow, and I think it's the perfect balance of gray and colorful and fun, and I love it so much. And the yarn that I spun is way more consistent than I thought. Like, I think it's easy when you're spinning it to really notice those like small differences, but especially in this texture, it feels really good and consistent, which I love. My first handspun sweater, this is my second ever handspun sweater. My first one I love, but it was really, really noticeable that the yarn was not super consistent, and like between batches, it was wildly different. But I've already knit, I think, from multiple batches, and I love it. Like, I haven't noticed it being like wildly different between the batches or anything. So this is 2 full skeins in the body. One of them is, so I've spun 6 skeins, and I had one that was quite a bit bigger than the others. I just didn't do as good of a job of splitting it when I was like plying it. I put way too much on one bobbin. So I've already used the big one and then one other full skein, and I actually like ran out right at the end of the back. And so I did break into my sample a little bit just because for some reason I didn't want to break into a new skein. So anyway, this is, yeah, pretty much 2 skeins out of 6, but like bigger skeins. So I would say I've used more than a third of my yarn. I don't think I'm gonna end up having to use all of my yarn. Like I said, this is the entire body. The body's done. I just picked up and started the sleeve. So I'm starting with like a new skein for the sleeve. And I decided I'm gonna do the sleeves first, and then I'm gonna go back and do the hoodie or the hood. The whole thing is the hoodie. I'm gonna go back and I'll do the hood. More information I probably should have already given about this. I'm knitting the smallest size. I think my gauge was pretty close to on, but if anything, a little bit loose, especially after blocking, and I'm very pleased with the way that it fits. I'm not gonna put it on right now because I have the needle in the armhole, so you can imagine. I put a picture on my Instagram story, although I guess by the time you watch this, it will be gone. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the way that it fits. I think it's the perfect amount of oversized. It's a little short right now, but it's really stretchy, and so I know when I block it, it will be a little bit longer, and I think we'll hit at a really good length. I like the amount that the shoulder drops, and that also means that the sleeves will go by pretty fast, I think, because they start quite a bit down on the arm. So I think that will be perfect. I think it's gonna be tricky to figure out how long to knit the sleeves because I know when I block it, it's gonna stretch so much. So I don't want them to be too long. So it's gonna be tough. I'm wondering if I should do like a mid-project block or something. I don't know. Or I could just trust the pattern and hope that it works out. But yeah, we'll see. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, I'm knitting this on a US size 5 needle, which I don't remember if that's what the pattern calls for. I kind of think it is, maybe. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm just really happy with this. I'm really pleased. I am knitting this also. I can't really say I'm knitting it along with my friends because I'm quite late compared to some, and I'm also ahead of some people. So it's like we're all doing like a knit along, but different start times and everything. So, but I'm knitting this along with my Seattle and San Francisco knitting friends. We did a big sweater knit along before Flock last year. And so we're running it back and doing it again for this year. So the goal is just to have this done by August for Flock Fiber Festival, and I will definitely have it done by then. I am trying to decide whether to take this with me. This weekend I'm going to be, like I mentioned, I'm going to be on vacation, and I really want to work on this, but it's so big and it's not super space efficient. It's really squishy as well. I really want to work on it though. But also there's something about traveling with my handspun that makes me a little bit nervous. It's like if I leave my bag somewhere, or if I don't know, it's like in my luggage, or I don't think we're gonna check a bag, but like even if it was in, I don't know, just like I feel like something could happen when you travel, and that makes me nervous. And I mean, it would be horrible to lose anything, but it would be really horrible to lose this and to lose my handspun. I feel like I spent so long spinning this yarn, so I really don't want to lose it. So I might not take it. I might take something else. We'll see. I will noodle on it. But anyway, yeah, that is my last work in progress. I don't think I have anything else to say about it other than I love it so much. I love it so much. Oh, and I'm ready for it to be done so that I can wear it. I think it will be really fun to wear. And I was thinking like, oh man, the weather's starting to get warm. It's a little bit of a bummer that I'm finishing it now and I may not get to wear it a ton, but I think this is the perfect, like, you know, cool summer nights. Toss on and like you're wearing shorts and a hoodie, you know, in the backyard, or I feel like that vibe is gonna be really nice this summer. So I'm excited to finish it. And for spring too, it'll be really fun in spring. So yeah, that's my traveler hoodie. Okay, spinning wise, I don't have anything to show. I think I mentioned last time I was going to be working on that cinnamon roll spin. I still am. I'm on my first bobbin. I haven't done a ton. I've done maybe like an ounce and a half since then, so I've not been spinning a ton. But knitting with my handspun makes me want to spin more, and well, I guess, I don't know, I say that, but I've been knitting with my handspun this whole time and I haven't been spinning that much. It makes me, the idea of spinning really appealing, but maybe I'm just too obsessed with what I'm knitting right now that I can't take a break to spin. I don't know, it's like, in some ways it makes me want to spin more, in some ways less. But I do want to do a little bit more spinning, so I'm thinking maybe tonight I'll do a little bit more, and then yeah, I'll be away from my wheel for a bit, but when I come back, I'm hoping to finish up that spin pretty soon, and then I will be hopefully making a vest out of that yarn. So I don't know when I'll do that, but finish that up, and then I want to get to some long draw practice because I want to do a big long draw spin for Tour de Fleece, and that is kind of coming up. Like, it's April, halfway through April already, so we're getting there. So anyway, that is the hope, is that I'll keep kind of cooking on that and make some more progress there. I do have a little bit of sewing to share. If you know me, those of you that have been here for a while and have been experienced the sewing ups and downs, I have a new entry for the sewing saga today. I think I shared last time that I was feeling a little bit of sewing urge and sewing interest. I cut out my fabric pieces or had I cut it out at that point? I think when I recorded last, maybe I just like pulled the fabric out and I hadn't cut the pieces out yet, but I have now since cut out the pieces to sew a half circle skirt in this really fun blue floral print. I have not sewn it yet, but the pieces are cut, so we're like halfway there. But I went and I had a sewing day with my friend Maya, and she has a serger and I do not, and so I had some fabric that I wanted to, some knit fabric. I've never sewn with knit fabric before. I wanted to try sewing a couple of t-shirts, so I thought this would be a good opportunity. I was unsure about what pattern I wanted to do, but Maya recommended a couple of patterns, but one of them was the Honeygirl tee by Paradise Patterns. I think it was also in partnership with Lyrical Fabrics, which is this really cute, like pretty close fitting tee with like little cropped sleeves. Really cute. So I decided that's what I wanted to try. I printed out the pattern. Basically, I thought I liked the way that I saw it like fitting on the model, and so what I should have done, here's, I guess, a peek into my misfortune here. What I should have done is I should have measured my favorite t-shirts and tried to match the garment measurements to the t-shirts that I like. What I did instead is I just looked at the body measurement for the tee and looked at my, like, you know, compared to my body measurement and just went for it. So I cut out the pattern, I cut out my fabric, did not pay enough attention when cutting out my fabric. And I did not realize that, I mean, I should have known this because it always matters. Like when you cut out fabric, it matters the direction that you lay your pattern pieces. How many times have I screwed myself with this? Do y'all remember the clown corduroy pants that I made like years ago where I didn't pay attention to which direction I was cutting the fabric and the corduroy is like going different directions? Oh my gosh, why is this always a problem for me? But anyway, I just kind of went for it, and I think like, I don't want to blame it on the pattern because it really wasn't the pattern's fault, but for part of the pieces that you cut out, there was a note on like which edge was the selvage, and on part of it there wasn't, and I should have thought about like, okay, which way do I want the stretch to go? But again, I've never sewn with knit fabrics before, so I just wasn't really thinking about this. But anyway, with knit fabrics, here I can show you also. This is the fabric I used. Well, I guess I'll show you. This one I haven't cut into yet. This is like my favorite knit fabric I got from Blackbird Fabrics a while ago, like a few years ago. I love the color of the stripes. I fell in love with this, and even though I'd never sewn with knit fabrics before, I was like, I have to have this. I want to make myself a t-shirt out of this fabric. So I bought this fabric, and then I thought it would be really fun to do like a ringer tee, and so I wanted to find a contrast color to use for the edgings for this, and I thought, okay, why don't I just get extra and then I can do a practice run on the tee with that fabric. So I bought this fabric, which is, I think, a good yellow for the ringer tee, but is maybe like a little bright for me, just like generally, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I was planning to maybe like, I would maybe just wear it like this, or maybe I would dye it, whatever. Anyway, okay, so I have this fabric. I'm gonna try to cut out and do a practice run of this t-shirt. So I don't really consider the direction well enough, and I cut it the wrong way. So for a t-shirt, you know, the stretch, like, so I didn't really get this at first either. Which it makes sense also because this is knit fabric and I understand knit stitches and like I understand stockinette fabric. I should have thought about this, but okay, right, like in your knit fabric, it's more stretchy one direction than it is the other, and if for a t-shirt, you want it to be more stretchy this way, like horizontally. But I messed up and I cut the fabric sideways, so it was more stretchy up and down than it was horizontally. And also, I think I just cut out, like I picked a size that was too small for what I wanted, the fit that I wanted, which I'm not really sure how that happened because I went based on my body measurement, and I also went actually like I was kind of between sizes and I went a size up, but I think it was still tighter than I wanted. I'm wondering if like I just did, because I was using the serger for the first time, if I did my seam allowances, like I did more than the seam allowance the pattern called for, but I don't think I did. I think, and even if that, it wouldn't be off by that much. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that the t-shirt that I made is way too small. Like it technically fits on my body, but it's like bodycon. Like it's really tight. I'm not gonna try it on. But here it is. I did try a long sleeve as well. The sleeves are honestly maybe what's the most uncomfortable. Like I can barely bend my elbow because the sleeve is so tight. But here it is. It's not finished. I didn't do the edging on the neck, and I haven't hemmed the sleeves or the body yet. But I can show you my serging that I did on the inside. I'm actually really proud of. But yeah, like even this, it doesn't stretch as much as you expect or want it to. But it's okay. It was okay. This was supposed to be a practice run. This was supposed to be a trial. So here it is. You can see my serged edges. Look at that. Look at her go. All of this was serged. I used a serger for the first time. Maya was very helpful and patient and kind. And so I have my first attempt at sewing with knit fabric, and the actual sewing with the knit fabric I think went fine. I messed up like a couple things a little bit, but it was honestly, I think it went better than I expected. But I'm trying to think about the measurements. So I don't know how, I just don't know. I need to go back and look at the pictures and see if I'm just misremembering and like maybe the fit of the pattern is way tighter than I thought. Like I know it's supposed to have negative ease at the bust, but my preferred t-shirt is like close fitting at the bust, but not negative ease at the body. So it's like 0 to a little bit of positive ease at the body, but it's 0 to a little bit of negative ease at the bust. It's my ideal. This is negative ease everywhere. This is like fully negative ease everywhere. I think what I'm gonna do for this fabric, do I have enough for a t-shirt? Like a short sleeve t-shirt out of this? Probably not if I cut it the right direction. I need to pay more attention to that, but anyway, I was deciding whether I could like cut the sleeves off and wear this as a short sleeve t-shirt, and I don't know if I will. This may just be lost. I don't know. I could give this to someone smaller than me, but anyway, I am going to, I think, have to reprint the pattern and cut out a larger size. I measured my t-shirt, like just ready to wear t-shirts that I have that I like, and I think I need the waist part to be about 2 inches bigger than it was in the size that I cut out. So I don't know how many sizes up that is that I'm gonna have to go, but I just need to, reprint it and cut it out again. So it's fine, it's not a problem. I can do that, and I will do that, and hopefully this spring I will make this t-shirt with my yellow ringer around the neck and maybe the sleeves too. And it will be nice and it will be cute and it'll be fun. But yeah, more sewing misfortune. I don't know how, like, how does it never work out the way that I want it to? Maybe I can just sew up that skirt because I feel like that will hopefully be fine and then I'll feel better. I don't know. Anyway, that was my sewing. I don't think I have anything else sewing related to share. I do have some other fabric that I really want to sew this spring. Spring feels like sewing to me. I don't know if it's because of Me Made May. I don't know if it's because like a lot of the things I want to sew are things I would want to wear in the spring and summer. And like fall and winter very much feel like knitting to me. And spring and summer, or spring really feels like sewing. I mean, I will still knit more than I will sew in spring, but feels like that's the time. So I'm trying to capitalize on that. I have said before that I just don't like sewing and I want to give it up. But for me, I want the things enough that I think I'm willing to do it. I also think that maybe I just don't like being bad at things, which is fine. But also, maybe if I tried a little bit harder, I would get better at it. And like, I'm learning lessons. You know, each time I have a sewing misfortune, each time I screw something up and it goes badly, I learned something that I won't make that mistake again. Although this is kind of related to mistakes that I've made in the past. So maybe I'm not learning that much. But I think I am. I think I'm learning. This is my first time sewing with knit fabric. So I definitely learned a lot here. And that was the point of getting the extra yellow fabric, was to do a trial run. And so it's fine that I messed it up because that was kind of the point. I was baking in the messing up. It's called a muslin, right? That's what the sewing community calls that. I just did a muslin, and sometimes you try to make a wearable muslin, right? And I tried to make wearable muslin and it turned out not wearable. And that's fine because that happens sometimes, I think. So I'm just gonna, it feels like sewing just has more trial and error in it. And I don't know how much I like that, but maybe if I just accept it, it'll be okay. Like, it's okay to mess up a little bit if I learn and then next time it goes better, right? That's what I'm telling myself so that I can keep going. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that is all I have as far as like crafting updates go, I don't have any acquisitions to share this time. I don't think I bought anything. I am planning to buy some yarn from Explore Knits and Fibers is doing it's called Middle of the Map collection. They have a colorway in it, this like golden yellow that I love so much and feels so me. I think it's called Leaf Peeping. So I'm thinking about getting some of that. I think will be very fun. And otherwise, I don't think I have any plans. We are going to San Diego is where we are traveling this week, and I think we're gonna stop at a yarn store there called Apricot Yarns. A whole bunch of people recommended it to me, so we'll stop there. So we'll see if I find anything that I like there, but I'm still squarely in not buying a ton of yarn, just as this phase of life for me right now is I'm feeling more excited about using what I already have. Oh my gosh, it's almost stressful how much I want to knit with the yarn that I have right now. I look at my cabinet and I look at the yarns I have and I'm so inspired and excited by all of them, and I want to knit them all like right now, and I simply cannot because I don't have enough time and I don't have enough hands. But yeah, that's it for crafting. I can do a brief life update. Like I said, we're headed to San Diego. It's Thursday today. We're leaving on Saturday. We're gonna be gone for like the whole week. That'll be really nice. Take a week off work and go. I was expecting, since we're going in the spring, that we would be leaving behind kind of bad and rainy weather in Seattle to go to San Diego for nice warm weather, but it's actually been really nice here in Seattle as well. So we are not leaving bad weather behind, but that's okay. Maybe the weather will be bad here while we're in San Diego. I wouldn't wish that on my Seattle friends anyway. So, but anyway, we are headed to San Diego. We're going to go to a baseball game. We're going to go to Joshua Tree National Park. We're going to go like to the zoo and all kinds of like, I don't know, San Diego things. And we are maybe going to kayak. We're maybe going to paraglide. I am excited for that. Anyway, what else? Otherwise, oh, I had a misfortune this week. I went for a run and a bee flew into my face and it stung me, like by my eyebrow right here. This was just a couple of days ago. I don't know if I've ever been stung by a bee before. I've been stung by a wasp, I think maybe once or twice, but I don't think I'd ever been stung by a bee before. It was way more painful than I thought. And the sting itself was maybe less painful than I thought, but that thing hurt into the next day. Like it just kind of stung and burned almost for like 12 hours. It was crazy. I don't know why, but I guess, so okay, this is the wild thing. Bee flies into my face. I'm running. I turn around a corner. Bee flies into my face. Somehow gets stuck, I think, like in between my glasses and my face. So it's like in here, like right by my eye, actually. I freak out, of course. I feel the sting, so I'm like, horrible, like I got stung, whatever. I'm running. I have my dog with me as well. I fling my glasses off to the ground. I drop the dog leash, swipe the bee off of my face. Hurts really bad. Fortunately, my glasses were fine, they didn't break. Put my glasses back on. Also, fortunately, Norman, the dog, was sniffing something and did not run away. So even though I was freaking out and dropped the leash, he was just like sniffing something on the ground right there. So that was fine. So I get everything back up. My first thought was I have to stop my Strava because I was running. I was like, stop my Strava. Anyway, I do that. Then I text my husband and I'm like, oh my God, I just got stung by a bee. What do I do? And then I was like, wait, I should just run home. Of course, I'm at the point in my run that's the farthest from my house. I shouldn't have turned off my Strava because I didn't get credit for the run home. So then I just turn around, I sprint home. We look and make sure that I got the stinger out. There's no stinger, so I must have, like, when I swiped it off my face, I must have got the stinger out, or like maybe it just came out, I'm not sure. So I like wash it, clean it up. I ice it immediately. I ice it like religiously the rest of the night, and I think that saved me because it didn't swell at all. And I guess I'm in the clear that I'm definitely not allergic to bees because I had no kind of reaction. I mean, it stung and felt bad, but otherwise, like, it didn't swell up. It wasn't pink. It wasn't puffy. So I think I got really lucky. We were saying in my household that my husband's like allergic to quite a few things, and he's never been stung by a bee before, so we don't know if he's allergic to bees. Like, he could be. And we thought I probably wasn't. And also, like, it would suck if Norman got stung by a bee. So we were like, of the three of us in our house, if someone had to get stung by a bee, it should be me. So I felt like I was telling myself that I took one for the team, you know, that like I had to get stung by the bee so that Norman and my husband wouldn't get stung. I know that it doesn't work that way, but that's what I told myself to make myself feel better. But anyway, it sucked, but it's fine now. It's not that big of a deal, but it was just kind of such a weird thing. Like, I don't know why that happened, but I got stung by a bee. I'm trying to think about anything else that might be interesting to share. As far as like cooking and baking goes, I made these really yummy lemon cardamom rolls last weekend for brunch. I'll put the recipe below if you want to make it. It was really, really good. We haven't done a ton of other brunches. I think I already shared about I made pie crust for quiche, homemade, like handmade. I had never done before. I think I shared about that last time. I made a really good lunch this week, which I don't know if that's interesting, but it was this like miso salmon bowl that was really good. I can share the recipe for that too if you're interested. And let's see. Is there anything else interesting happening right now? Not really. I thought that I could make it through recording this whole video without plugging my camera battery in because I thought it was going to be pretty short. And then you know what I did? I yapped and my battery died. So let's see, I was so close to wrapping up as well, but I thought of something else. Sorry, Norman is looking at me and I am feeling flustered from the camera battery and from everything. But anyway, the other thing I thought of is that I took a trip back to Oklahoma last week, I guess it was, to visit family and be there for some important family events, which was nice. And so I got to spend some time there and got to see a lot of my family, and Norman is doing circles and I think he's ready for me to be done. But anyway, that was a nice trip that I got to take, and I got to do some plain knitting and that was nice. So let's see. I don't think, oh my gosh. Everything is saying, Emily, it's time for you to be done. So I'll wrap. I will call it there. I will maybe go and do a little bit of knitting and spinning this evening. I hope you have a great evening. I hope you have a great week. I hope you do lots of knitting and spinning and whatever feels good to you. I hope you watch lots of baseball. Baseball's back. Baseball season is back. I don't remember if baseball was back when I last recorded. That's another thing we did is we went to the Mariners home opener. So fun. Baseball's back and I'm pumped about that. And yeah, I hope you have a great week. I will talk to you later. Bye.